Welcome to episode 31 of Realty Talk with, just kidding, Ellie is not here. It is just me today. So we've done 31 of these podcasts now, so of Realty Talk, and this is the first one that I've ever done solo. Ellie is actually out of town on a business trip, and I didn't have really anybody, and I have some time now between my next appointment. So we're doing kind of a quick little Realty Talk here, and again, it's just me. So again, my biggest thing when I started doing these, and I had to give a small podcast where I could kind of scratch the real estate itch. I do obviously the very long or longer form Galen Trombley show, but this is the first time I've, like I said, the Realty Talk was centered around real estate. This is the first time we've done it solo, in the sense that I wanted to turn it into a fun weekly thing that Ellie and I could do. Ellie obviously being very new into real estate, and then me being, this is my 9th year in real estate, and we're on total opposite ends of the real estate spectrum in regards to careers, but I thought that would put kind of a cool spin on and a cool perspective that you guys could kind of compare and see. Obviously, it's a good way for Ellie to hear, kind of my thoughts from like a mentorship perspective, but then also it's good for, Ellie, I know, is now being more recognized from being on a lot of the social media that I do, and obviously this podcast. And I think people, it was funny, I went into a house the other day and the girl goes, "Hey, do you know Ellie Gent?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And then she goes, I recognize you. You're all over her social media." And that made me smile, and I think I called Ellie that night and told her about it. But it was kind of cool in the fact that she's now starting to become known. And I think a lot of it is she's done a very good job at, we call cross promoting, and she's kind of been a big collaborator with me over the last, I would say she's been licensed now 8 months, but it's been a little bit longer than that. We've known each other for over a year now, and she's a phenomenal girl, and I'm very happy that she's a part of the company here, and she's off doing some work for her other job right now, so she is not here with me. And I think her and I think Jordan, of course, both said, "Don't do a solo podcast by yourself. That's lame. People are going to think you have no friends," and all that good stuff. So without taking their probably better advice, here I am doing this solo. A couple thoughts I wanted to kind of get out and talk about. First one is my current thoughts on our real estate market. I talk a lot when I'm with clients, and a lot of people always ask, and I have the series that I do with the numbers of how's the market, and that is the number one question all real estate agents get asked, or realtors get asked. And my current thoughts on the market is I think we've stabilized a little bit from the beginning of the year. We've been in a seller's market for majority of the year, and we're still in a seller's market, meaning that the inventory currently out there is low, and that favors the seller, meaning the lack of supply or lack of homes for sale, mixed in with the demand of buyers, meaning a lot of buyers looking for homes, that favors the seller. So lack of inventory, a lot of demand. What happens is the sale price increases, which we have seen basically happening fairly consistently over the last couple of years. And then also the fact that homes beginning of the year, I think with the late winter, we're typically would see homes starting to come on in April, and we were almost till June before the big wave of homes came in, and we had a lot of buyers, and there was especially a few months ago, there was a big crunch of people looking for homes and a lot of multiple offers, and I've seen that kind of cool off a little bit. I wouldn't say that it's totally stabilized. We're definitely still in a seller's market, but I think we've had a little bit more stability in the last couple months than we have over the beginning of the year. So that's a good thing. I think going forward, though, I don't really expect us to be into a buyer's market anytime soon. I'm very bullish on Plattsburgh, and I think part of the reason is I think there's a lot of good things coming to the area. I've talked to a couple local leaders that we have in the area, and they're extremely pro North Country, and I think part of the reason being is they're at the front lines and they see what's happening, and for them to have this real positive outlook on our area, I think validates a lot of my positivity of the area. And I think how that translates to the real estate market is that companies are going to invest here, and what's going to happen is, obviously if companies are investing, jobs are going to increase. Now, will that mean people coming to the area? Yes, it will, but it will also mean a lot of people in the area are going to have opportunities for hopefully better jobs, higher paying jobs. And what that allows them now to do is maybe buy a home. Maybe they've been renting. This will allow them to purchase. And if new people are coming to the area, they're obviously going to need housing. So what I find is I think we're in a housing shortage right now, and I think that's going to continue to increase. And with the cost of building right now, it's very tough to say, well, hey, we have all this land for sale or land that we could turn into building lots, so let's do it. Well, obviously the builders have to make a profit on it, or it makes no sense for them to spend the time to build. So what we're starting to see too now is that I think I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. What I think is going to happen is we're going to get people, or we're going to get out of town, either developers or builders coming to our area to invest in our area, knowing that, hey, this is someplace that we can build. We know there's people that are going to purchase and need homes, and it's a good investment of our time and energy and money, and we're going to see a turnaround and a profit. I think our average price is just going to continue to climb, and barring anything outside of the real estate industry, I don't think we're going to have any other housing problems with lending. I think that's been the lending practices have gotten very, very, very disciplined on their lending practices, meaning there's buyers now, there's more things they need to provide and more, I won't say hoops to jump through, but there's more regulations and guidelines they have to be met from 10 years ago. Those are now in place, and those have now become the norm. So people now are more able to get loans, which is a great thing. And what happens though is now we're at a shortage of inventory, is that there's a lot of people looking for homes that just can't find homes. And I think we're going to continue to see that until we can get obviously the new development and new houses coming into the market, because I don't think we're going to have a lot of people leaving the area, not as much as we're going to have people that can afford or want to move to the area. So that is a very good thing for the area in regards to population, in regards to businesses coming in. And I again, talking with local leaders, I know there's a couple some cool things coming to the area, whether that be business or different projects or developments that are coming in, and which I'm extremely excited about. But hopefully this will translate to our area. And again, I think the only thing that would stop us from a money standpoint is if there was an economic downturn, something outside of our industry that would affect people's income, which would have forced them to have trouble paying their mortgage. I don't think it's going to be from the mortgage industry or the housing industry specifically. It would be something to the effect of, I don't know, people losing jobs because factories, the price of gas goes up, or minimum wage, or there's all these different things that could happen that could affect certain businesses, and maybe that won't help the economic climate, or people might have trouble paying off or paying their mortgage. So I'm very bullish on the area growing. The housing market, I think, is going to be a little bit behind in regards to the availability of homes, but I think that will eventually catch up. Everything catches up and balances out over time. I just think we're going to be a little bit short, so we're going to be in this housing shortage, I think, for a few more years until that turns around, but I think it will turn around probably within the next, 3 to 5 years. I think we'll start finding a little bit more balance, which would be cool. State of real estate right now, not necessarily my thoughts on the local market, but I think the state of real estate it's becoming much more tech savvy. I think it's also becoming much more agent centric, where you're not seeing the power of, and again, I kind of coming from this as being an independent company, is I really think that we're going to see the rise of more independent companies and less of the franchise models. I think that the brokerages back in the day, they were the hub. They were how you got your information. They were how you were able to market yourself. And I think now, today's day and age, with the internet and social media and technology and everything else, agents have 100% trajectory on what they're able to do with their career. And I'll touch on that in a little bit at the end of this. But the real estate industry now, and that's kind of how we've focused on our company, is we've taken a model, and I really think that our model is I think our model is the best model. I've took a lot of time reevaluating everything. Again, the beauty of us being an independent company is I'm able to make things change faster. I don't have any corporate people saying these are the guidelines, or you have regulations and how you can advertise, or how you can switch up the commission, or how you can structure your office. The beauty of that is I firmly believe, and people have asked me before, well, how come you don't go after existing agents, people that are already agents on the market, or not on the market, agents that sell real estate currently on our board? And I always tell people our board is made up of about 130 to 140 realtors. We do not have a huge market. I know probably 95% of the agents very, very well. Having been in for 9 years, I've seen a lot of these people at events. I've seen them just around town. A lot. I see them and I'll chit chat with them, or I stop in their office for, to pick up, checks or drop keys off or whatever the case may be. And you talk to these agents. And I've always come from the mindset of I don't like to go and poach for people, meaning I don't want to go out and look for agents and go up to the agents and say, hey, you should work with our company because X, Y, and Z. I just don't like the idea of it's a small market. I don't want to make any enemies where people start saying, hey, Galen's going after all of our agents, especially like brokers. I have a lot of respect for the brokers in the area, and they're all trying to do the best they can too. And I don't like the idea of going after people. So I've actually never in my career ever gone after anybody. Not to say if people haven't approached me about coming to our company, if we talked to them, 100% I'll talk to them. I've talked to a few people, but in the sense of I don't go out and actively go after people, it's because I don't want to be, I think if we keep doing the job that we're doing and keep growing like we're growing, people are going to want to, or be curious at least of, well, hey, you guys are doing a good job. I want to see what you guys offer. And I really believe firmly that I think from a net perspective, I think from a gross perspective, you can make quite a bit of money here because I know a lot of people work for money or I should say, obviously they work for money, but that's the main reason for a lot of them is commission splits. And I always look at, we have the lowest cap rate in the area. And we also are the only company that I know of that is, you can make 100% commission once you cap. And we don't have tiers or anything like that. It's literally you cap and you make 100% commission. And I firmly believe with the stuff that we offer and the way that we're reinvesting in the business and reinvesting in agents, that you will net the most amount of money working with us. And that could be a first-year agent, or that could be an agent in their 15th, 20th year. I think that the way I crunched a lot of numbers, I did a lot of scenarios back and forth, and I think what we have and what we offer, I don't think can be beat unless I'm missing some stuff, but I did a lot of market research on that. And so that's something that I feel confident about. I also feel confident about the business model that I'm trying to come up with. And basically is, I firmly believe that yes, the brokerage does do stuff for their agents, but I think now it's much more agent centric than it's ever been. So I want to make a place where we support agents, we invest in the agents, but what I want to do is I want to make sure agents are in a position where they can sell. They don't need to be doing paperwork. They don't like closing. We have a closing coordinator, Nicole, and in the future, I hope that grows into a, where we can have two positions doing that job. And, it's kind of a cool system is agents that, once you get done and have the contract, you give it to Nicole and she's going to be the one dealing with all the back end stuff. And that what that allows me to do is, I do quite a bit of, I'm very active in our industry, and this allows me to save countless hours every week not doing work that I'm not very good at, and two, it's something I should be working at. My job as a real estate salesperson is to help people either buy homes or sell homes, and also I've taken on the role of developing our business and growing our company, and that stuff to me is my strong suit, but that's also going to allow our company to grow, and not necessarily drafting up an addendum for home inspection removals or sending out attorney packages. That to me is that's like tedious, time wasting stuff on my day. I'm busy as it is, and that would take even more time out of my day. So we're really trying to structure the company where agents can sell, agents can cap quickly, and agents can make the most amount of money, and they have the least amount of extra work that they have to do. And I really want agents to come here and we can help them grow into very good professionals and make a very good living. And I think I've set it up where I think anybody up here that's in real estate, provided that you obviously want to, you can't just sit there and wait for stuff to come, but I think that there's a very good opportunity here to make a very, 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 very good income in our area. And I think people can do it without killing themselves, meaning they can have time where they work here and they can have balance and everything else. And I've been working extremely hard to make that happen. So a lot of the work that I'm doing now, I work a lot of hours and I work a lot of early mornings and late nights, and and all in between. And a lot of it is I'm trying to get this model off the ground where I know it's going to benefit a lot of people in the future, because I've talked about this before on the podcast, the rising tide raises all ships, meaning I really want to focus on being able to benefit the most amount of people that I can and have the greatest impact on the most amount of people that I can. And in turn, we're all going to get better. And that's why anybody that follows me on social media knows that I spend a lot of time trying to promote my friends, other local people in different industries, and I'm trying to get their awareness out as best I can. And I think just by doing that and trying to help others, and obviously them helping me do the same, we're all growing, and we're all promoting really good, talented people that have a strong work ethic and have a strong sense of community and a strong, love of this area, that are trying to make this a better place for future generations. And I think we're doing a lot of that, and I'm just trying to play my small part in that, and obviously put in the time and effort now to make sure that the future is brighter for, obviously myself and my friends and family, but, the generations to come. And I'm really excited at the rate at which we're doing that. A lot of the stuff that I was planning on doing, we're actually hitting it much quicker. I'm very big on visualization. I can barely speak, but visualization is I have a lot of thoughts in my head, but it's kind of one where I can see a lot of things that have currently happened that have been in my mind for years. And I've been doing this now almost 10 years, and I had a 10-year goal. I'm closing in on my 10-year goal, which will be really cool. And it was a very lofty goal when I set it. And now I have a very strong, it was about a 6-year goal. And I don't know why 6 years. I think that's in my mind, that's when it's going to happen. But there's a lot of things that have to happen in order to accomplish it. And obviously a lot of hard work on my side and a lot of consistent, actions on my side. But pretty much the trajectory that I'm setting for myself to hit that, so far I've been able to grow and do things a little quicker than that. So my goal is 6 years, and I think that, like I said, if I can keep doing what I'm doing, potentially it could be quicker, but I'm giving myself a realistic time frame to hit those goals. Most of those goals I don't want to fully publicize yet, but I do feel very strongly about a lot of these things, and hopefully, at that time point, when I accomplish that, it would be something that then I keep increasing that goal. And the fun thing is that each of my goals, my 10-year goal, was very solo. It was me centric, and the reason being was it was just me. And I set the goal at the time, and I didn't really look at the bigger picture of how can I affect the most amount of people and help the most amount of people. My new 6-year goal has more effect on a lot of people, and I'm hopefully, once I hit that point, then maybe my next 5-year or 10-year goal is going to help even more people. And that's kind of as I've gotten older and I've become a little more aware of things that go on and have become wiser and all these good things, is that my priorities and goals and everything shift, and it's just a natural progression. And hopefully I'm always in growth mode, meaning not necessarily growth as have to do, I just guess growth, meaning I want to always do more. And it doesn't necessarily mean more as I got to sell more homes or things like that, but it could be I want to help more people, or I want to give back more to the community. And I think over my trajectory of my career, I'm going to be able to accomplish a lot of cool things and really look back and be happy of the effort I put in. And that's why I work so hard, is because I don't want to not reach my full potential. And I think that's always kind of a fear of mine, is looking back 20, 30 years from now and saying, you know what, I just kind of slacked off and just kind of floated through. And I want to know that I gave my absolute best and really put forth all my effort into, what I was able to do, and, position that I was in. I was able to maximize my potential and do it the right way and help the most amount of people. And that's why I really focus on trying to do things correctly and try to be a good person and kind of live by the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and try to help as many people as possible. So I feel very strongly about that. That's kind of my North Star when I do a lot of this stuff, and I have a very good, headspace when it comes to this. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to accomplish. I'm very patient in that. I know it's not going to happen overnight. And to be honest, most of my goals are probably going to be, I'm almost 30 now. I mean, a lot of them are probably 40-year goals, to be honest, maybe even longer. And I think, if you think about it, that's another, it's double my lifetime plus. And I think that I can accomplish quite a bit of things. When we talk about the snowball effect, the stuff I was able to have been able to accomplish over the current 9 years, everything should be, the growth should be compounded. So it should get bigger and bigger and quicker, and I say quicker, but I should be able to, I'm not doing the little things. As soon as I start getting this snowflake rolling, now it's a small snowball that will pick up steam, and I'll be able to hopefully do bigger things faster as I get, older and kind of, like I said, meet new people and have new connections and able to, really work with a lot of great people to make that happen. And we will. I know, and I have a lot of confidence. I have a very good group of people that I have around me. I think as you get older, you start filtering out your friends and start filtering out the people that are with you, and you really get to the group that you want to be associated with, and people, and a lot of them are like-minded people. And I think that's something that I've been able to do over the last handful of years, is really align myself with some good people. And I've made some very good friendships that I think will be lifelong friendships. So I'm just very excited going forward about everything. I don't take a lot of time, I guess, to look in kind of in the rearview mirror and or pat myself on the back. So I'm always, very much looking forward, and trying to grow. But it's kind of cool when I can look back and reflect on, I say it a lot. My first year, I sold 3 homes, and didn't really know what I was doing. Was I call part-time, full-time, or full-time, part-time kind of thing. I was a full-time agent, but I worked probably not even. I didn't work a lot, and I didn't put the time and effort in. And when I didn't understand a lot of things. I didn't put myself out there to, meet new people. And I think the things that I'm trying to do now is just help as many people as I can. I really find that I've gotten to a spot that I really take my job seriously, in the sense that, trying to help someone buy or sell a home. And, I take a lot of responsibility in that, because there's a lot of moving parts. You're dealing with people's, a big financial and emotional situation. And, I don't want to take that lightly. And I really try to come out as a very big professional, in the sense that I when I price homes, when I give advice, anything I do, I try to do it with the most, I don't say the goodest, it doesn't sound bad, but the best intent that I can. And I always, I come back to this a lot, but one of my things my dad always told me when I first got in the business was, if you can go to bed at night knowing you did the right thing, basically, you can sleep well at night and, not question your morals or ethics, and you're fine. Like, at the end of the day, your word, your ethics, your honesty, your integrity, like, you have to have that. And that's something I always come back to. And I know, like I said, real estate transactions can get muddy, and people can get, heated and all this stuff. And I think, even if I've had bad, excuse me, if I've had like bad deals or bad scenarios or bad weeks or bad even phone calls, as long as I know I'm doing the right thing and I'm coming from a place of I'm really trying to help the person and do what's best for them, then I'm fine. And I think that's something that it's hard for a lot of people in this business to get over. There's sometimes that really eats at me, but I always stay very positive and know, just do the best for the client, always do the best for them, and really try to take care of their needs. And if I can take care of their needs, my needs will be fine. I'll never have to worry. So that's just kind of my mindset that I've always taken, is really just focus on trying to help the person, whether it be the buyer, the seller, or, like I said, even my friends that are in the business or are in the business field, or, whether it's, my friend Brittany, who's an artist, whether it's my friend, Ryan, who's in insurance, or, my buddy Matt, who sells eggs. We're always trying to promote each other and help each other grow. And like I said, if I can always help their needs first, or my clients' needs, then I know that I'm, coming from a good place. And, like I said, at the end of the day, karma's a good thing. I just think if I can continue to put out positive vibes and energy and all that good stuff out into the world, I think that will come back tenfold, and I'll never really have to worry. And I'll have hopefully a lot of good friends at the end of the day. So I think I'm going to stop there. It's minute 24, which is my favorite number. So that sounds like a good time to wrap this up. So like I said, episode 31 of Realty Talk, just me today. I believe Ellie should be back and ready to go next week. So you'll get Ellie back again. So I think that's it. I'll leave with an office quote, because obviously this is what we do. I'm trying to think. I've had it on in the background of the last few times, but Actually, maybe I won't even have one. Maybe I'll just have Jordan cut this whole thing out and just say, Galen, nice try. You tried to come up with an office quote and couldn't come up with an office quote. But yeah, I don't have one. Maybe, actually, I was watching one the other day, and they came in, and Ryan came back, and he was working again, and Kelly goes something about arguing with him. And she goes, he's like, no, it's not working. She goes, well, I'm pregnant. And then he ended up getting like ghost white face, and then it ends up panning out to her when they're doing like the documentary, and she just shakes her head no. So I don't know why I always laugh at that scene, but it's a stupid scene, but it's classic Kelly Kapoor. I can't believe I ended this with a Kelly Kapoor office scene, but whatever, there it goes. We do it live. So episode 31 of Realty Talk with not Ellie, just Galen. We'll be back next week. Catch you later.